The revolution will be live.
Wow, can you believe it? Finally, can you believe, after all these years, finally, the second black superhero who is of a feline
descent.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Well, that joke's ruined.
Fuck it, I'll just open with that.
Okay.
So Dan, we just saw one of the best movies we've ever seen. It's the best Marvel movie. How dare you? You're a racist.
But this movie was really boring.
But it had black people in it.
But they were not interesting characters.
But they were black.
There was a white guy, I liked him.
Yeah, he was the worst part of the film. Because he wasn't black. This movie is incredibly diverse, and that needs to be celebrated. If you say one bad thing about this movie, you're a racist.
There were like four white people in this movie, and
and that's racist.
Black people.
In the sequel, there will be no white people. It will be a perfect movie. It will get a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone will love it.
Will it be a perfect ethno-state of only blacks?
Yeah, it will be incredibly diverse because diversity means only black people.
Wowee!
And all the SJWs will cheer, and we'll all live in harmony, and Wakanda will save us because we can't save ourselves. So Dan, tell me all the things you loved about the Black Panther movie. Only positives. No negatives allowed on the show.
Andy Serkis was in the movie.
Yeah, he was great. He did a really good job, but I think...
Spoilers! You can't say he was great!
Oh, that's true.
He's white.
That's true. He was awful. He did a terrible job. He should have been cast as a black man. I thought the guy that played Black Panther was great. He mumbled all his lines. I couldn't hear a fucking thing he said, which I loved. I thought all the black women were also there, and that means that they were great. I thought the CGI was horrendous, but because all the cast were black, that means it was good. I thought the action was fucking awful, but because it was all black people in the action scenes, that means they were great. So overall, this movie gets a 12 out of 12. Dan, would you recommend Black Panther?
No.
It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean...
I think it's definitively the worst Marvel movie.
Yeah, I get that this is the whole, there's a broken record at this point that Marvel movies suck.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this to be good, I
don't know. I wouldn't say I was expecting it to be good, because it's a Marvel movie. Yeah. Of its merits there, I expect nothing. Yeah. And still I was disappointed.
Generally, it's like a general surprise when it's like, you go and see Captain America Winter Soldier, you're like, hey, this is actually a really good film. And then they follow that up with, I don't know, fucking Avengers Age of Ultron.
I like that one.
But you like it because it's bad.
No, it's not true. I like it because it's a perfectly cromulent film.
Okay, so is Black Panther a cromulent movie?
No.
What's wrong with it? Maybe we'll start with probably the most important thing in a film. What did you think about the characters?
I hate them.
Well, but why?
Black Panther, he is exactly as boring as he was in Civil War.
I would say he might be more boring because he's the focus of the film.
That's true.
In Civil War, he's passable because it's he's just it's his introduction. They might do more with him in Black Panther. I think they did less with him.
Yeah, because he's already had his character growth in that other movie.
It's just him fighting. He learns nothing.
Yeah, should we talk about Civil Wars?
Yeah, if you want, go for it.
Yeah, so his dad died because of terrorist attack.
Yeah, that's a spoiler for a movie that came out 3 years ago, so that's fine. Yeah. If you haven't seen Civil War at this point, then
wasn't
that's
his dad the Black Panther 2?
Yeah. He was the Black Panther 1. Black Panther's Black Panther 2.
But did his dad take away his Black Panther powers for no reason? If there can be a bunch of Black Panthers...
that's what I was... Because traditions, and the Wakandans love their traditions, despite the fact that they're stupid.
They don't even clarify that his dad stopped having the powers. For all we know, he had those superpowers, and he just got killed by being near an explosion. Not even being directly hit with the explosion.
I think he was further away from the explosion than Black Panther was.
Yeah, because he jumped towards the explosion, and he
would have been propelled into a wall and smooshed to death. But his dad would have been fine. That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, I hate that part.
Yeah, he's probably one of the worst parts of Civil War.
Yeah, and
Spider-Man's introduction is fine in Civil War.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't like Spider-Man Homecoming, but Spider-Man's pretty good in Civil War. Black Panther, Spider-Man doesn't feel shoved into Civil War.
Yeah.
He feels kind of organic, a little bit shoved in, but he feels more organic than Black Panther, I would say.
Well, Black Panther is
he has his origin story in Civil War, which why it feels shoved in.
Yeah, but the plot largely revolves around him.
Which is why I feel it is shoved in more. With Spider-Man, he's kind of like a cameo.
Yeah.
And I prefer that to...
He's
okay,
like Stan
we're
Lee.
going to introduce this character, and we're going to give all his origin story and his character arc in this film, and then his standalone movie will be nothing.
Yeah.
But people will see it because he was in Civil War, and also black people, I guess.
Hey, personally, I don't think any white people should see this opening weekend, so that all the black people can all see the movie.
Can we talk about it?
Because this movie's going to be...
Yeah.
It's in hot demand.
Yeah.
There were like 3 other people in the screen that we saw. Like, it was...
Only white people on the screen?
That's true.
That's not on. White people are not allowed to see this movie.
No.
Yeah, can we talk a bit about all the fucking controversy around this piece of shit? Black people are talking like this is the second coming of Black Jesus.
Yeah.
If I was black, I would be offended by this movie. It's so pandering and just awful. And you like, saying like,
what if thousands of years ago, Africa had this meteor that gave them all super.
Hey, what if Africa was actually gifted with something that made them more powerful?
And then
they still lived in mud huts.
And their culture didn't evolve.
Yeah.
At all. Like, they still follow traditions that the surrounding tribes
so bizarre.
would do. Yeah, it's like...
But I've seen, like, people on Twitter or whatever, and they're like, oh, but Black Panther shows what Africa would be like if white people didn't ruin it. Like, shut the fuck up.
What?
Africans have been living in mud huts for centuries.
I'm sorry, if Africa was given a handout by aliens, they would be fine without white people.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. They're taking pride over this fictional country.
Yeah.
Like, this is why, like, if I was black, this movie would offend me. Because it's like, but Black Panther was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko when they were like, okay, we need a character for black people to relate to.
We need a diversity hire.
Yeah.
What do we have?
What about a character with the name Black in the title? Black people like when we say black, 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 black.
What about the railway man, a Chinese railway worker who... No, Stan, stop. He builds trains.
What about a hero from Africa?
Black. We'll call him Black. Black man. His color will be darkness. Stan, please.
Stan, stop.
And he's gonna
he'll be a thief.
he'll be a cat burglar. He'll take from the white and give to himself.
The main Black Panther, what did you think of him and his performance?
That Chadwick Boseman. Wow. I mean, he's just a ball of charisma, that guy.
Every time he was on screen, he was so captivating.
I was
like leaning in close to the screen just to try and understand a word he fucking said.
I am the Black Panther. My dad was the king of Wakanda.
What are you saying? Stop mumbling.
I never freeze.
I never freeze. And then I walked away. I never freeze. We never freeze.
Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
That Ugandan Knuckles meme came out at the perfect time. It's like I don't know, everyone probably knows about the "Do you know the way" meme.
Yeah, they clock and
they click and it's I don't know what it is, but the people in Uganda actually like the meme because the people that made the movie that it's based off of were like sharing the memes and stuff.
It's concentrated autism in its first form.
Yeah, it's been ruined. It's dead now. I think Black Panther might bring it back a bit because there was a lot of similar... like, one of the things that the Ugandan Knuckles... One of the parts of the meme was some guy who said, they asked me if I would freeze, and I said I will never freeze. Say it with me, my brothers, we will never freeze. I didn't know that was from the film until I watched the trailer again. Yeah. It's like, oh my god, that's from Black Panther. So, like, and we saw it in the cinema, the trailer, and we were laughing. And we've said before we went to see the film, we're like, when they say that, I'm going to laugh just because I know that. And they say it like 5 times.
Yeah. It's just a scene where they just keep talking about it, and then it's like...
Don't freeze. And he's like, I will never freeze.
After that scene, it's like, he froze. He freeze. We spit on him. We spit on him for freeze.
Wakanda Knuckles.
I can't wait.
That'll be a thing.
It already is.
Is it?
Yeah. I saw a poster for it.
Oh, that's great.
So it's just a black version of the Wakanda.
Oh,
of
I
the
thought he was going to be wearing a little
Ugandan
Black Panther suit.
Ah, that'd be...
Autistic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the main character is stupid and unlikable, and his performance is terrible, and you can't hear what he's saying. But it's not really about him. It's about how strong and independent black women are. So what did you think of all the black women in the movie?
I don't remember any of their names.
What was Black Panther was called? T'Challa?
Yeah.
His dad was called T'Chula or something?
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka.
One of the ape men was called Umbongo.
Umbongo? I love Umbongo.
Yeah,
Way
really
down
is.
deep in the middle of the jungle. I want Umbongo now. Drink Umbongo if you've never had it before. It's good.
Those are the three names I remember.
There was his love interest.
Yes. She
There-
was there.
There was his sister.
We were told many times about
Yeah.
how great she was.
Yeah.
We never saw her in action
That's true.
until like the very end of the movie that she actually did anything.
But what about his sister?
Well, she made everything.
Yeah, she's the most perfect person in all of Wakanda.
This like 15-year-old girl. I don't know how
I
old
don't
she was
know,
supposed
18
to be.
or something.
Yeah. She keeps talking about all the things that she's made, and it's like, was this a society of like? Were you literally just in the mud huts 2 weeks ago, and then you just suddenly?
Yeah, because she's like, all these great things I've developed, and you're like, how old are you? Like,
Or-
how long have you been? Like, what were they doing before you made all this stuff?
Yeah. Or is she one of those kids that takes credit for everything? I did that.
Well, what about the Queen? The Queen must protect the Queen.
She was wearing a big dumb hat at the
Yeah.
start, and then she had like white dreads. I thought that she'd shown her hair and it was like dark.
Yeah,
But then it
her
was
hair-
white all of a
Yeah, her
sudden.
hair just changed color.
And I was like, that's all I remember about the Queen.
What about the warrior woman with the bald head?
She doesn't like hair.
No, she hated Americans. She hated
That's true.
white people.
That's true.
So that's good. Well, I did like that this movie was incredibly racist. It gives us the privilege to be racist, or probably a better word.
White privilege to
To
be
be
racist.
racist, yeah.
Finally, man, I've been
No,
waiting
to be
get...
fair, black people have the privilege of being allowed to be racist as much as...
Yeah.
In fact, racism with black people is encouraged, at least in America. Every time they're like, oh, white people suck, slavery was a thing, everyone's like, yeah, you go. And we're like, hey, white people built culture, and you're like, nah, fuck you, you're a racist. It's like, wait, why is it okay for them to say blatantly racist things? Like, oh, cracker, and calling us names and shit. There's shit that white people do. Like, they're generalizing an entire race.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to do anything similar to that.
This movie generalizes black people.
Yeah, it does. It's so pandery to... Like, the whole crux
not.
of this movie is just they're black, but they couldn't decide,
What?
okay, are they, like, African-Americans, or are they African? So they're just like, I don't know,
No,
both.
they're just black.
Yeah.
It's
Black in all forms.
Yeah, it's literally like there's a character who's like, yeah, all black people. All of you? Like, you're different countries, different upbringings. Different...
Wait, who said that?
Well, the main villain's whole thing.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Literally all black people.
Yeah.
Regardless of...
But it's like, the pandery thing is, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is so pandery. It's like, hey, look, it's got black people in the movie, so the Marvel Studios logo is black. What do black people like? Rap music, I guess, so we got rap music in the movie.
It's true.
The soundtrack is one of the worst soundtracks I've ever heard in a film.
Hey.
It can't decide what theme it's going for.
It's so diverse.
It is diverse, in terms
It
of
has-
none of the music fits.
It has African mess. It has awful rap music with...
It has
with-
club music.
Yes, it does.
It has drums.
There are drums.
The credits had African people screaming Wakanda, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck's going on?
Wakanda!
And it's like, the song started, and then it kind of went quiet, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they started screaming like, what the fuck's... Where am I?
I want to say that this is the most I've laughed at a Marvel movie. I don't think you didn't laugh as much as me, but I was just laughing at. It wasn't like so bad it's good. I was just laughing at how stupid it got.
I couldn't laugh at it. It's just...
The movie opened and we were laughing.
Well, yeah, that's true. But that's because when you have like this like wise like Mufasa
Yeah.
father giving his story of like this is the Pride Rock.
You don't expect what they did,
Yeah,
but we'll go because when we go into spoilers, we'll just go through the whole film roughly. But well, you got characters; they suck. Actually, speaking of characters, they're not all that bad. We got Andy Serkis's Claw, is possibly one of my favorite Marvel villains. It's a shame he was incredibly underutilized.
Yeah, like in Age of Ultron, he
was there.
Yeah, he was just kind of like exposition dump about vibranium, and then like, Wakanda, and then it's okay. Well, I guess he'll be in the Black Panther movie when that happens inevitably.
Yeah.
And now 3 years later,
they ruined him. They made him awesome and then ruined him.
Yeah. They made him really, like, charismatic.
I feel like they just kind of gave Andy Serkis free reign to let him, like, create the character the way he wanted to.
Yeah, there was only, like, one thing he really said that made me kind of go, like,
Oh, yeah, no, I know the bit you're talking about as well. That was cringy. That was probably in the script, though. I feel like a lot of it was just like, you say something along these lines, you know, kind of do whatever. Because Andy Serkis is a really good actor. I don't like him as a person, he's a cuck.
I like him as an ape.
I don't like him as Snoke. He's talking about how good feminists are.
Oh, yeah.
How incredibly
he was that
likable, that died and did nothing. What a good character. But yeah, Andy Serkis is probably the only good character. The plot, there is no plot. The plot starts the movie just kind of like plods along, and then the plot starts halfway through, and it's like, hey, did you like the first Iron Man? Did you like it when it was Ant-Man? Did you like it when it was Doctor Strange? Well, you'll like it when it's black.
I did. God, I'm not racist.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Well, you know, I didn't really like the first Ant-Man or Iron Man or Doctor Strange, but this movie's black, so it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, I didn't really like anything about the movie, but it's black, so I'm not racist.
At least we're open about it. Well,
we're not racist, or that we are.
Who cares? It's up to the viewers to decide. Are we racist? Probably.
Like, comment, and say an offensive slur.
Yeah, let's try and get this video removed from YouTube. This might be the first video that gets removed.
You'll probably just upload it, and then during the processing, it'll just say, no, you did a no. They're probably going to start doing that, where the processing...
No, they've already done it.
Well,
all videos have closed captions where they list all the words that you say. So whenever you upload a video, it uploads, and then it says processing. It's like, now hold on, let me see if you said any no words.
Gotta scrub for that and see if you can upload it or not.
Story, bad. Characters, bad. Plot, bad. Music, bad. The visuals were awful.
Yeah,
the CGI, it felt like they just didn't want to give this movie a budget.
And the movie has no visual identity.
No, it's just such a fucking mess.
It's like Thor: The Dark World, where it had where like they showed more of Asgard than they did in Thor 1.
It felt like Attack of the Clones. But even Attack of the Clones has a visual identity. Yeah. When I think of that movie, I kind of think of the color yellow and orange. Yeah. You got Geonosis, you got kind of like sand. Tatooine, yeah.
All the sand.
Yeah.
I love it.
Black Panther has none of that. It's just like it jumps from place to place. Wakanda looks different every time they go there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, this scene has all the huts.
Yeah, so sometimes it's like a magical city. Sometimes it's like this weird blue underground thing. Sometimes it's like sunset and dark, and sometimes it's like filled with water. Sometimes it's mud huts. What's Wakanda?
It's the country.
So world building is also bad.
Well, because the world's already been built through all these other Marvel movies.
No, but I mean specifically on Wakanda.
But that's a good point right there. You got there. We've never Wakanda. Like, oh, what's Wakanda? It's just a third world country. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks.
Oh no, but you forget that the Black Panther, the Wakandans, they're alt-right, so they have a wall.
A perfect ethno state.
They don't want to let any immigrants in. I think somebody said that at some point. Yeah. No, we don't want immigrants in. They'll ruin the country. And I was like, I agree with that statement.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Black Panther disagrees.
Yeah.
Because he's
a cuck.
Yeah.
A beta fucking... He's awful in this.
Yeah, he ruined his country.
Yeah, he did ruin his country.
He had the perfect world.
The villain would have done a better job.
Yeah. That's true. Well, no, he wouldn't, because we're white. He would have destroyed... He would
have killed us all, yeah. Well, no, that would have been good. Yeah, we got to applaud the movie for killing white people.
Oh, yeah, I hate those.
I hate me.
I'm okay with me, but I mean.
But you wish you were black. Is what you're saying.
That's true.
We all wish that we were black.
That's true. I'm gonna go get some shoe polish, and then. Do you think I'd be safe if I?
That would be considered racist. You'd be killed twice.
Oh.
They'd bring you back to life with vibranium and then kill you again. So. Story bad, plot bad, characters bad, CGI bad, action also terrible. I couldn't understand what was happening. Just action specifically, all the action scenes were terrible.
Yeah, like
they're shot awfully. They're like cut into weird angles, and you don't really get a good grasp of what's happening, which is baffling for a Marvel movie because most of them have pretty solid action.
Yeah, but those all had white directors. This is the first Marvel movie with a black director.
Which means that the action was really good, because the black guy did... Well done. You made a movie I couldn't understand what was happening. I couldn't hear what people were saying, because they were mumbling. I didn't know what was happening visually.
That's because we're white.
Oh, that's true.
We're ignorant.
If only we spoke whatever language they spoke in the movie, whenever they weren't speaking English for no reason.
Yeah, I really liked that they would start a sentence in one language and then change to another.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we are all in our home country. Let's speak English for some reason. Like, why are you speaking English?
Hey, even those guys in the mountains spoke English instead of trying.
They talk about how they don't like America, yet they speak the fucking language. And then, somebody asks...
That's our language. Those Americans appropriating our language.
That's true. They should get their own language.
Yeah.
Oh, they've tried to ruin English.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just drop letters off of words.
Who the fuck needs the letter U in colour?
Yeah, fuck you. That's what America's trying to say to Britain. Yeah, fuck you. Oh.
Is the term, like, coloured person, should it always be the American spelling of coloured, or is it coloured varying between the country?
I would assume varying? I don't know. What kind of question is that?
It's just something that interests me.
Oh.
If I referred to someone as a coloured person...
I would say with a U, because that's just how I spell it.
If I spelled it properly... Would that still be the same thing, or would someone think I'm talking about like a blue that
was another. Yeah, my African friend from Nigeria. He's married to a white woman, and he has kids that he's adopted from Africa.
Oh.
And when he was trying to adopt the kids, the court or whatever he had to go and see because he go through all the stuff. Because he's foreign, I think they went through more stuff just to make sure that he's capable, and because it was difficult because they were adopting from Africa. They accused him of being racist, and he was like, I'm a black man married to a white woman, how am I a racist?
Well, clearly you don't like black people.
That's true, because you live in Britain.
Clearly
he said, he's like, is there some sort of blue race that I don't know about? You call this Nigerian man that's married to a white woman racist? Like, what?
Oh, why couldn't he be married to a Nigerian woman?
That would be racist to white people.
Hey.
Yeah, but fuck whites, they're awful, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, bravo.
Glad someone finally
I hate
said
white people! So, yeah, is there anything good about the film? Because I think every single thing in the film is bad. Every part of there's no redeemable part of the film. The villain was also bad. The villain was another Black Panther. Yeah. It's in the trailer as well.
Yeah, like, the villain is, I want to say fine. I wouldn't say that he goes into the category of bad. Like, I am more compelled by him than
I was more compelled by Claw. But the main villain he's got a fine motivation, but they just don't do a good job of executing that.
Yeah.
I feel like they did that at the end, and at that point, like, I'd already kind of given up on him as a character, so I was like,
because he's the most
racist,
SJW, but like
piece of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would say it's a bad villain. I still think the best Marvel movie villain, or sorry, just the best MCU villains in general would be. Number 1, Kilgrave from Jessica Jones. Oh, beautiful. Number 2, Kingpin. Good origin story, good acting, autism, yeah, perfect. Number 3, probably Vulture. Just because he's just this regular guy. You know, with all the other Marvel movies, it's I want to destroy the world, but Vulture's just like, I just want to steal some stuff and make some money. It's like, it's not a good villain. In terms of Spider-Man villains in films go, he's the worst. I think he's worse than Electro, but... In terms of MCU villains...
That's because he's a white man.
Oh, that's
Electro,
true, yeah.
You know,
Electro was a black man.
He was
the
gap
in his teeth got fixed.
Best Spider-Man villain right there. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not racist.
That's true, yeah.
That's what I put that out
Miles Morales is the best Spider-Man because he's ethnic.
It's true. Not racist.
I like that he can turn invisible for no reason.
Wait. You said Spider-Man, of course, yeah.
Spider-Woman?
Well,
Stacy? I like her because she's also a woman, so that means she's good.
I was thinking of Spider-Girl, who is a Dominican girl.
Fucking hell. How many spider people are there? That's what I was going to say. This movie seems to have a throbbing erection for black women.
Well, yeah, I had a little bit, because some of them had outfits where you could see their nipples poking
All of them had outfits you could see the nipples on. It was awkward and weird.
It was offensive to African
people that don't like
tribes
nipples. Yeah, that's true.
they hid
walk
their
around topless.
breasts.
Yeah.
They usually walk around naked.
Yeah.
Where were my titties?
I didn't want to see that.
That's... Hey,
See the man with the disc in his mouth?
Yeah.
Or the woman with the disc in her mouth?
Yeah, that's...
That was weird to me, where it's like, you live in this technological...
And you still stretch out your...
Yeah,
you
he spoke at one point and he's like... It's like, why do you still have the disc in your mouth?
Take that thing out of there and talk! That's like, so impolite.
Spitting everywhere. Like, that's something I just don't understand about Africa. Like, why the fuck did that become a tradition? We're gonna ruin our faces so we can't speak anymore.
We're gonna stretch our necks so that we can sword fight with the giraffes. Not racist.
What the fuck?
Have you seen how giraffes fight?
Oh yeah, with their necks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
cool actually.
You get those rings that stretch out your neck.
So you can fight with a giraffe.
Look, how are you gonna beat a giraffe?
With a gun.
Not in Africa.
No, because they have the spear things. They blew up several cars with them.
That's true. Yes.
Oh, some of the action scenes were so fucking stupid. I was laughing so hard at like the
all of the action sequences were stupid.
But two of them were hilarious. The one in Korea and the one at the end had me like in fits of laughter at just how stupid they were. So I think we've covered everything in non-spoilers. Let's go through the film.
And also some spoilers.
Yeah, rough spoilers that I'll probably cut out, yeah. Danny, would you recommend Black Panther?
No, I can't recommend this movie in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm not racist. You're not going to like this movie any better based on the race that you are.
That's true. If you're black and you like this movie, or just in general, if you like this movie.
You're part of the problem.
Also, tell us why. What the fuck is wrong with you? Also, if you're black and you don't like this movie, please voice that opinion. Because, I don't know, it would carry more weight. Especially with the SJWs.
Especially with us being cisgendered white males.
Yeah. If you're gay and black and a woman and you hate
and
this
Jewish?
movie... And Jewish? Gay Jew?
Yeah, a gay black
Yeah, if
Jew?
you're a gay black Muslim Jew... two religions that don't get along. If you're a gay black disabled transgender Jew, Muslim... please voice how much you hate this movie, because it would carry more weight amongst the liberals.
Yeah,
like
true.
with us, it's like, straight white men don't like the movie, they're racist. Yeah. But if you say it, maybe they'll listen. Yeah. Because the movie's not good. What would you give it out of 12?
And if you stretched out your neck with those rings, smile with you. Is it?
That's true.
It's not a good look.
Yeah. it's very impractical.
It's like white men wearing baseball caps.
Yeah, baseball caps don't look good.
No. Not on white men.
I don't think baseball caps look good on anyone. I like the snapbacks. They look cool. On some white guys they look good, but they look better on black guys.
It's true.
I got a couple snapbacks. I don't really suit them. I stopped wearing them when I gave up drugs. My mum calls them my drug dealer hats.
Drug dealers don't wear snapbacks?
Yeah, they do. Well, most of the drug dealers I got off had snapbacks.
Okay, well, the ones around my part of town, they...
Yeah, but you live in a shithole. See, it's not just Africa.
That's true.
But we live in a shithole.
That's true. Wait, we got drugs.
Yes, well, every country has drugs. What would you rate Black Panther out of 12?
2.
I was going to go 2. I'm going to give it a 2 because, number 1, it made me laugh. Not intentionally, but I did laugh. And number 2, Andy Serkis's performance was enjoyable, but it's a piece of shit on every other level, so don't watch it. 2 out of 12.
2 out of 12 it is. And so was told that this movie was carried by its merits as a film and not because of any kind of drama surrounding it.
Yes, exactly. So the movie opens and it's like you see some stars and the kid asks, "Daddy, tell me a story about Wakanda." And
Well, you see, my son, the vibranium came from the outer space.
And he's like, "Okay, my son, one more story." Yes. A long time ago, a meteor crashed to Earth, and I was like, "What?"
Made of vibranium. Like it's when he
Daddy, tell me an exposition dump.
Of course, my son.
So, in Captain America Civil War, the original Black Panther was killed.
Me, I was murdered. You avenged
He did not know the way. He knew the way to the ancestral plane. So, yeah, the movie opener, we were laughing, because it's just like, really, you're going to open with an exposition dump in the form of a story told to a kid? That never comes back! Who the fuck was he telling that story to? Who was telling the story? Oh, it was his dad telling it to him.
Yeah,
you don't see them, it's just in voices. So, at the beginning, I was like, who the fuck's talking? It reminded me of Mass Effect 3's ending.
Oh.
Where they're like, tell me one more story about the shepherd.
Of course, my dear. I'll tell you all about
One more story. It's called Mass Effect Andromeda. It
sucks. Because he keeps calling him Baba.
Oh, yeah.
My Baba.
Oh, yeah. That's a cute name. Baba.
You gonna call your dad Baba?
No. So, yeah, there's exposition dump. And then, what happens after that? I can't even remember.
Then it introduces our villain playing basketball as a small child.
Oh, yeah, that scene was really weird.
Yeah, because it's just like...
You don't really have much context for it.
Yeah, and we still haven't met our main character.
Yeah.
In, like, three scenes in,
yeah,
I think.
you see Black Panther's dad as the Black Panther, which is kind of cool, I guess. But the whole scene is just like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
And then...
That's so that you can, later on, so it can surprise you, even though you already guessed that's what happened.
Also, I don't think they showed a title for this film at all. Usually the Marvel movies, they have some of them have titles. I guess this one didn't.
Yeah, it was after they flew off.
Because it went to the Marvel Studios logo, but I don't remember there being... Yeah, I don't think there was a title.
I think maybe during the exposition bit it had Black Panther.
Oh, maybe it did. I don't remember. I was laughing too hard at that point. So then there's Marvel Studios, and then it cuts to Black Panther on a spaceship, and the news talking about how Wakanda's a shithole.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the truth about Wakanda.
This third world country refuses help from the UN. You thought the exposition dump was over? Well, here's the BBC.
We're SJW2.
Yeah.
We don't hire white men. Unless they're gay. I fucking hate the BBC.
Yeah.
They're the worst. So then Black Panther...
Hey, you can't say you hate the big black cock. That's racist.
Oh, sorry. I love big black cock.
It's my favourite category on Pornhub. I'm not gay.
I'm not racist. I watch black gay porn.
Glad someone finally said it.
And then he saves some Muslims, and then he does a bad job, so the woman save him. The woman tells him not to freeze, but then he freezes.
Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
Yeah, he froze.
He froze. I never freeze. I told you he would freeze. He froze. And she tells everyone as well. Which just carries on the meme, which is great. That also made me laugh. And then I was getting real prequel vibes from this movie, because after that it was just like people talking and walking and reverse shot. And I was like, okay. And then he's crowned king, and there's this bad action scene where somebody challenges him. Yeah, and then he's sitting on his throne, and they're having a talk. And I'm like, this is a council meeting, and they're sitting in a circle on these weird chairs. This is reminding me of Attack of the Clones.
It also just feels weird how fast things seem to be going. Like,
yeah,
it seems
the
like
pacing's all over the place.
It's like, how long has he been king? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Or did you jump a week later?
Yeah, like when did this take? How far did this take place after Civil War? Was it immediately?
They say specifically a week later.
Do they?
Yeah, they say it in the news report. It's been a week since the death of King T'Chaka. Which yeah,
you know that movie that came out 3 years ago or 2 years ago, or whatever.
The Marvel massive timeline where it's like, hey, they're in whatever year they came out in.
Except sometimes.
Yeah, when Spider-Man takes place 7 years after the first Avengers, but came out 5 years later.
Yeah, it's a mess. I was so bored in this movie. People are just kind of talking. The action scenes are terrible.
I think that's when Dr. Claw got brought into it.
Oh yeah, that scene's really good.
Yeah,
not the setup for it. I didn't much care for that. Where he's like, oh, these tribal African masks are beautiful. It's like, no, they're not. They're horrifying.
But then it's just like, and it's like, oh look, all the security guards are looking at him, and the lady's like, can I help you, sir? She specifically goes up to the black guy because they're suspicious of a black man in an art gallery.
They think that the black man might steal something.
Yeah,
which he does.
Yes. I hate how much it's like he keeps going on about like oppression. They look good, they judge us, and then
when he does more bad shit than they do.
Yeah, and
hey, they looked at me, so I have the right to murder them. What the fuck? Although I guess he's a villain, but he's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, but the fact that he's preaching.
Yeah,
your villain can't preach and do generic bad guy stuff. They can preach if they're like, I have a super higher purpose, and they're not the ones just killing people randomly.
Because he was a psychopath. He had like gold teeth and everything.
Yeah.
He's stereotypical like New York black thug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They steal
but then Dr. Claw shows up, and immediately it's like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
he's charismatic and he's funny, and he's kind of like over the top, which I don't know, it fits really well.
Yeah, it also came out of nowhere because I thought he was
Yeah.
going to be boring as fuck like
Yeah.
he was in Age of
But then he comes out and he shoots all these guys and he's like, I'll let you live, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then he walks away and just shoots him. He's like, why'd you do that? He's like, yeah, I like to spread the bodies out.
Yeah. It makes it look more like I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's cool. Because, good man.
Yeah.
Good man, that
Yeah.
crazy murderer who stole all that
It was just a good
African
performance.
gold.
The
Yeah.
character, there was no he's a villain.
Yeah, it's like-
There's no characteristics there.
He is a cartoon villain.
He is a cartoon villain. He just wants to kill people and steal things. He wants the vibranium.
He wants Africa gold.
Yeah. He's just really well acted, and his performance is just charming, despite the fact he's murdered. The one cringy scene you were talking about was when they go to the club,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, look, I made it rain," and it's like, what? Is that like a
Yeah.
reference to something
Well,
you said?
It's that, and when he's like, when he brings his crew and he's like, that your entourage? He's like, yeah, we're dropping our new single. I'll link you to my Spotify. Hey, get this guy the link to the Spotify.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then he's actually singing like in the next scene, and it's kind of like,
I thought that was funny, where he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like singing in the.
like that's where I was
Because
like,
I was getting like Joker vibes from this guy's just like insane.
yeah, I was like, oh man, I really hope that he's actually a bigger villain.
I thought
than
he was
think.
going to be the main. When like, he was in the thing and they broke him out, I was like, this feels like they're doing like a Joker thing,
Yeah.
where like he'll steal one of the Black Panther suits and it'll be like Black Panther versus White Panther. But it was Black Panther versus Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's Iron Man. That's Ant-Man. That's Doctor Strange. That's every Marvel movie. Every Marvel movie is, we can't come up with an interesting villain, so he just fights a villain that's the same as him. That's dumb.
It's lazy.
It is lazy. Claw was he had like a laser gun for an arm.
Yeah,
That's
and he-
fucking cool. Give him a White Panther suit, but he doesn't get the White Panther powers, but he's still got his laser arm, and it could be a cool fight, a cool villain.
Just give him a better arm.
Yeah.
Give him 2 claw arms.
Yeah, that'd be sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Give him an Iron Man arm. You shoot lasers or
It
something.
makes the same noise as Iron Man's arm. Might as well be.
Yeah, it does, doesn't
They
it?
should have just made him like a Whiplash thing where
Yeah.
he's got an Iron Man suit.
He just shows up at the end with an Iron Man suit,
Yeah.
yeah, for no reason.
Made of vibranium.
Yeah. Oh! See, that'd be sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Like Ultron.
If he was kept in if he was imprisoned in Wakanda and he'd been in the lab
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're just kind of like he's being kept like there, but like he secretly has his little claw like
Yeah.
doing stuff for him,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
builds
and
a
it's like-
suit out of vibranium for him, and then brings it to him, and then he busts out like.
I thought you were gonna say like they bring in his arm, but his arm escapes and goes up the ventilation shaft and like shoots a hole in the wall and he escapes. You could make him a really cool villain, but you thought, nah, another Black Panther. That's so fucking boring.
It's because Marvel's Cinematic Universe treats these like villains as like D-listers.
Yeah,
Like
they shouldn't be.
it's like,
Like the best parts, we were talking on the drive home. The best parts of like the original Spider-Man movies are the villains. Same with like the Batman movies. Like Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite comic book villains of all time.
Yeah.
He's so sympathetic, but you understand his motivation and you want him to succeed but not blow up the world, obviously.
Yeah.
And this is just like, I want to kill all white people, so I killed this interesting villain and now I'm gonna rule Wakanda and kill everyone. That's such a cliched and dull motivation.
fuck this is bullshit. I'm sick of these black people always trying to oppress me. We should oppress them before they can
He
oppress.
talks at one point, he's like, oh, where were the Wakandans when we were slaves? It's like, I don't know, dude, like putting giant discs in their mouths. These
Yeah.
people are savages too.
They were on stabbing each other with spears.
Oh, the action scenes.
Like,
The first action scene in the film, he fights a guy to be king, and it's like, okay, obviously he's going to win this. It's just whatever.
he fights some bongo.
Yeah, he fights on Bungo, the drink. It's a big giant juice carton. And then the second scene, they go to Korea, which
I was like,
I thought it was China because I thought they were pandering to the Chinese demographic.
Right.
Because I don't know if you know this, but in China, in all the posters they've covered up any black character because Chinese people are super racist and they don't like black people.
all this movie with a majority.
I think they've renamed it. I think they just called it the Panther or something. Which is hilarious. Like, all the fucking SJWs are complaining to us that we're racist, when the Chinese people just outwardly hate black people. They're just, they're not like ashamed of it. They're just like, no, we don't like black people.
Well, I'm not black. I don't understand. I'm not racist.
So, yeah, I thought that was pandering to the Chinese demographic, but it was Korea. But they go there to get the vibranium or whatever. At this point, there's no plot, and you're like, I don't fucking care what's happening.
Do you think the lady who runs the secret place,
the Chinese lady
behind her little,
the Korean lady,
her little like shop, maybe she's on the front of the poster in China?
Yeah, but they don't like Koreans either. Chinese people are very racist.
That's true.
Chinese people didn't like Star Wars because they hired a Vietnamese woman and not a Chinese woman. They don't even like other Asians.
Yeah.
That's how racist China is.
Yeah, well, it's like...
That's why Trump loves China. China.
Yeah.
So, the action scene in...
Well, China doesn't even like China.
That's
whole
true,
Hong
yeah.
Kong versus the rest of China.
That's true, yeah.
The China that
China's a
accepted
mess.
capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah, they dump their female babies
That's
because they want male babies. They're only allowed like 2 or something.
yeah, bad China. But that's why you have to go to
China's
Hong Kong.
fucked up.
Hong Kong.
I like Japan. I'd move to Japan. But no, the action scene in Korea is fucking hilariously stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another thing. It was like all over the place. I'm like, what is this supposed to be? Is it a superhero movie? Is it a Star Wars prequel? Is it a James Bond movie? Because he goes, like, he's crowned king and he's wearing this robe and sandals. And he goes to this fucking, his sister's thing where she's a super genius and she came up with all the devices, even though she's probably only been making stuff for like 5 years max. And he's like looking at all this stuff. She's like, I have all these cameras you can do stuff with. And he asked a question, and you were at the bathroom at this point, and I was like,
so fucking bored of the movie. I was
you
like,
walked out at the worst point, because immediately after you walked out, she said, the real question is, and then pointed at his sandals and said, what are those?
What are those?
And I was like, I bent over in my seat like, the fuck did that just happen? Like, Marvel were like... that meme came out like 3 years ago. It wasn't even funny then.
Yeah, but Stanley's got slow internet. I like to think... I'm starting to this new narrative where Stan Lee is the one just doing everything. And he's just like, you know what, the kids will love
Kevin
these
Feige's
things.
just a puppet.
Yeah.
Like this, he's a life model decoy that Stan Lee just controls. Well, apparently the life model decoys are on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. My mum watches it for some reason. It still looks like crap. I think it gets worse all the time. But... yeah, maybe Stan Lee did write it, because it's like, the fuck, like, do the do you know the way meme, because that's more fresh, and also it's in the film.
Yeah.
But you do a meme from 3 years ago that only, like, the normies liked. Oh, what are those? It's funny, because he's wearing funny shoes? What? And then it's like, immediately after that, she gives him these shoes that are silent, so that he can walk around and no one will hear him. And she's like, I call them sneakers. Ha ha ha, get it, because you sneak? It's like, oh. I hate this character.
Yeah.
She's such a bitch.
Yeah, and like her whole shtick was, I don't like here in Wakanda. I want to go to America.
I didn't remember that at all.
Well, like her whole
I zoned out when she talked because I hated her.
And the way that she would like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
She flipped someone off.
She's like, oh yeah, I want to get out of this corset.
Yeah, like she doesn't like the traditions of their country.
She likes America. Yeah.
She gets her wish at the end.
But no, the action scene in Korea, I think I've tried to start this sentence like 10 times.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I remember the for me the best action sequence in Civil War was the Black Panther chase.
Yeah, that bit was really cool, but that was directed by white directors.
That's true.
So that
Two
means
white directors.
So that means it sucked.
Yeah.
That means the car chase in this was much better.
That's true.
Because there was a point where the woman jumped on top of the car and threw a spear at another car and blew up, and then her car blew up, and she flew into the air, grabbed her spear, stabbed at the car door, and then slid along the floor on it, while her driver, the guy's girlfriend, like slid on the car seat, still holding the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And you could see the outline of the green screen.
Yeah. You know, the Black Panther...
It was beautiful.
Black Panther, he's got superpowers. He can do all this shit.
They can.
She's a normal human being, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I guess not. She's a woman. She's a strong, independent black woman, so she's super strong. I love the bit... the end action scene is fucking amazing. So many people get thrown into the air.
Yeah.
It's like you could see the frame that they turned into a CG model.
You guys
because they go like all ragdolly.
You guys have knives and shit. Just stab each
Yeah,
other.
they're constantly like throwing people. Like they bring in the fucking like CGI armored rhinos at the end, and they're flipping people over, and it was just so funny. I didn't know who the bad guys were. Because it's like, okay, wait, did he bring the Umbungo army, or the fuck is happening? And then the girl warriors are fighting for T'Challa.
Yeah, they easily segregate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the blue people are against the red people. We hate those damn blues. Those blues are ruining the country. We need to get rid of those damn blues.
They're traitors.
Yeah, those fucking traitors, blues.
Yeah.
The reds, God bless those reds.
Because they're women.
Yeah.
And all the blue people are bad.
And then the whites come to save the reds from the evil blues.
The Umbungo tribe show up. And when all this is happening, the evil Black Panther is fighting like some of the red women.
Yeah.
And then he takes one of the red women and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill her. And everyone's like, no. And then the dramatic music plays and everything kind of goes silent. And he kills her. And there's like the echoey, no. And we're like, oh no, not that one.
Yes,
She didn't say one line of dialogue and it's supposed to be like a heart wrenching thing where it's like, oh no, that character had no screen time. Who the fuck is that?
This movie doesn't understand how to build suspense.
No.
It's like they'll build up to something and then do it. There's no surprises. It's just like, the fuck you do it? Like, don't you know how a movie works?
Yeah. It's like the whole bit where they're like, oh no, Black Panther's dead. Obviously he's not.
Yeah, I've
seen him in the trailer. He's the fucking title character of the film.
Yeah, like if they'd had it...
But if they had it, they say, oh no, he's dead, and then it's Black Panther trying to get back to them.
Yeah.
Because we all know that he's not dead.
Yeah.
But it's because they go from the woman's perspective of them trying to find somebody to save Wakanda, that it's like, I know he's alive. Yeah, Get on with it.
We want to see the heroes struggle, not these other people doing all the work for him.
This is what I'm saying. If it wasn't called Black Panther, it would be like the Phantom Menace, where you're like, who's the main character in this film? Is it the Black Warrior woman? Is it the girl that makes all the technology? I guess it's supposed to be Black Panther, but he doesn't do a lot. He just kind of gets his ass kicked most of the time.
He gets given everything to him.
Yeah.
Because he's a prince. Not because
he's
of anything
privileged.
else. Yes, he is the most privileged.
They're so vague on what the superpowers of the Black Panther are.
No, they literally say his powers.
He's got super strength.
Super speed. He's got agility.
He's completely invincible.
Yeah. Well, that's the suit that does that.
I guess. How does the suit work?
Vibranium.
Just vibranium? Well, how come Captain America's shield doesn't disappear? How does it disappear and then reform? How does any of this work? Who cares?
I don't know. I missed the scene where the little girl was telling you that.
That's true.
Well, you didn't pay attention,
all you missed was the 3-year-old meme. Like, they got like these magic bracelets that they press things on and then stuff happens. I love that action scene at the end, though. I like because that's when it's like the main villain's just so shit. He shows up and he's like, I'm the rightful heir to the throne.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate white people. I'm gonna use Wakanda's technology to kill white people and save all of Africa.
I'm gonna give every black person in the world the means to stand up for themselves. What the fuck do you mean? What?
They have that.
And it's like, he keeps talking about like he keeps going about, it's just Black Lives Matter shit.
It is just Black Lives Matter
But to the point of like, okay, he's an extremist who is straight up like, yes, black lives are more important than anything else. Regardless of who they are, where they come from, they're black, so therefore they're better than anyone else.
Which is really odd, because that's obviously their agenda.
Yeah,
but why is it the villain's agenda? Yeah. Why isn't it Black Panther's agenda? I would have hated it more, but it just seems a bit weird to me that the agenda of the film is the agenda of the villain.
Yeah.
Like, there's no coincidence there in terms of our reality, because that agenda really is the villain's agenda.
I think Marvel just gave a bunch of money to a huge racist and let him do what he wanted. Whereas all the other Marvel directors...
Stan Lee.
the fucking director.
Yeah, the director.
Whereas all these other directors are told exactly what to do and how it has to fit into the universe. He was given a blank slate where it doesn't need to tie in, and he gets to say whatever message he wants.
Which is kill all whites.
Yeah.
But he told it from the villain's perspective. But then the hero learns the villain's message at the end.
Yeah, so it's...
He learns that his dad was an asshole. He doesn't even, reconnect with his dad. He goes to see him and he's like, you did a bad thing. You killed your brother, even though he tried to kill you, which is justified. Although you did leave the kid, which is bad. You could have taken him home and raised him.
It's like
still...
Yeah, it's like having that scene in Spider-Man 2 when Peter talks to Uncle Ben's ghost.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't...
Peter says, fuck you, Uncle Ben, and then never reconnects with him.
Yeah, he never has a moment where he gets back to the...
Yeah, they never reconcile. They hate each other.
No, fuck you, dead uncle. Fuck you, dead dad.
You did a bad thing, and if people do one bad thing in their lives, that means they're bad people. You can never come back from doing one bad thing. That's just who you are. Which is why I'll kill this guy, and then offer to save his life. But then he talks about slaves or something, and then decides to die.
Yeah. I'd rather
Pyramid C, because
like my forefathers. Yeah. I know it's better to die than to live in chains.
Slavery was a bad time.
Yeah.
So would you move to one of the Islamic states where they still have black people as slaves? That everyone seems to forget is a thing that still happens in this world, because we all know that Muslims are peaceful people.
It's because they're not white.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Wait.
Only white people are villains.
Yeah. Wait, this movie.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, because the villain had a good message.
Yeah, because he was black.
Yeah.
The white villain just wanted to steal things. He was the real villain.
Remember the villain in Iron Man? He just wanted money.
Yeah. The first one. Yeah.
He just wanted money.
Yeah, that's Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. He just wants money.
It's a good motivation.
Yeah, it's better than I would kill all white people.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty evil.
Yeah, it is pretty evil.
But, I mean, money.
So there's that dumb action scene, and then there's not a lot of action in this movie, and the stuff that there is terrible. I think I can only count 5? Maybe there's only 4. There's the boring one at the beginning where he fights some random Umbungo guy. There's the hilarious one in Korea, where he almost kills Claw, and then he decides not to because people are watching, and they casually run over a man, and they're just like, oh, whatever. but people are watching now, so don't kill him. And then I kind of liked when they break him out of prison. That was kind of cool. But that's not really an action scene. And then there was the bit where he fights Michael B. Jordan. What the fuck was that character's name? Evil Black Panther.
I think his slave name was Eric.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had a real... It's not my real name.
Yeah.
Ask me I am the cousin of a man or something.
I want the king to ask me my name.
But then the guy with the discs in his mouth asks.
And so he's like, fuck it, no one else is going to ask. I better say it now.
Otherwise, they'll just put me back in prison.
Yeah.
So then they fight for a bit, and then there's a big dumb action scene at the end. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Martin Freeman's in this film.
Yeah, Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins is in this movie and contributes a whole lot of nothing.
Oh man, it was so tense when he was sitting in that chair with guns pointed at him, and he had, it's like, it was life and death. And then, just when you thought he was gonna get away because this is a stupid, shitty movie, he did it. He got away.
Just when you thought he was gonna escape, he did.
Yeah.
But they don't show him escaping. They just show a random explosion. They show the explosion of the room he's in, and then you never see that character again. You see him in the after credit scene. If you didn't see him in the after credit scene, you could assume that he died.
Well, no, because he gets out of the chair.
He
moves to the left of the chair.
He gets out of the chair, and then the room explodes.
No,
and you never see him again.
No, because then there's a good 10, 20 seconds of just the gunship still shooting the window. Mm-hmm. He clearly got away from it. They took so long to shoot through that window. It's like when they saw him get out of the chair, they might as well have given up because
it happened immediately. He got out of the chair and then it blew up.
It was a good 20 seconds.
No,
later.
It blew up immediately.
Not immediately.
Okay, fair enough.
It was so fucking long.
But it's just weird that they don't show him. He feels like he's just kind of there as white people gotta feel like they have some presence in the film. So we'll just make him a piece of shit that's incapable of doing anything. The black people will save him. He'll almost die, but then, the magic of vibranium and Wakanda will save him.
Your Highness, I've been keeping your secret. Didn't he reveal to the world he was the Black Panther in Civil War?
Did he?
Didn't he take off his mask when he got cornered by the police?
I think he did.
Yeah. So I was confused because doesn't everyone know he's the Black Panther?
What the fuck?
Did they just?
Maybe he didn't.
Did they just throw a cape over his head and run him out of there?
Maybe they did.
Is it just the CIA that know?
Yeah, because I think he goes to the CIA building afterwards, and maybe the CIA just decided to keep a secret.
Yeah.
They're trying to make this the new Batman. They're doing a bad job.
But it's just when you have the scene where it's where he's sneaking around at night, and it's just this is really boring. Fucking Batman Begins did it really cool because you saw the perspective of the guy.
Yeah, the villain. So then it's what?
And he was
slowly
going after them. Yeah. In this, you just see he just took out everybody in like 5
And the
seconds.
camera's like flipping around and
Yeah.
rotating around him and constantly cutting to like these awkward angles, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And then the next action scene that he doesn't even try to be sneaky. It's just loud and he's just so obvious. And it's like, what the fuck does he do? Does he sneak around?
What is this? What is this hero?
Yeah.
He's just like a weird Iron Man. He's got a robot suit, and he's strong. What's his character motivation? He wants to be a good king?
Yes.
Is he? Because at the end he realizes that walls are bad. Remember, Trump, walls are bad.
Well,
because we learned that from Black Panther.
We don't really know what he thinks because the movie always kind of cuts away the moment he's about to say anything.
I loved the ending. Like the last scene of the film. They go to California where the kid was raised in the apartment building, and she's like, oh, they're pulling it down. And he's like,
Wow.
No, I bought the building.
How
and
do
I
you
bought
find
that
out?
one.
How do you find out where he grew up? Since our father, the guy who was here, and he was dead. Who told you? I know the way.
my dead father showed me the way. I went to the ancestral plane and he told me.
He told me the way. He showed me on Google Maps.
I loved at the beginning. He goes to the ancestral plane. I'm like, this is actually. It wasn't a good scene because it was when he started talking to him. It was just shot reverse shot, just like a fucking Star Wars prequel.
And it just looked like that scene with Rafiki from The Lion King.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It reminded me of it with the Aurora Borealis in the sky, and but then Michael B. Jordan goes into the ancestral plane. And it's just his whole apartment, but the Aurora Borealis is outside for some reason. It's like, oh, okay.
I thought that was a really as far as like.
Why do only Black Panthers get to go to heaven? Why didn't his dad go to heaven? That was just a memory or something.
He went to Black Panther heaven.
So, and the other guy went to his apartment.
Yeah.
His apartment had a heaven. You're just stuck in. Well, this is where you lived, so this is where you'll live forever. I guess
it was a neat version of it for him. A personal thing for him.
Yeah, I didn't like the first scene where it was just in a tree.
Yeah, it's just like, what does this mean to the character?
Yeah, but I like the villain had more character development than the fucking hero.
Exactly. We opened the movie
with the villain,
yeah.
the origin story of the villain. Oh. But yeah, that scene was really neat, and he kind of reverts back to a child, but then he goes to an adult when he shows his motivations, and then he's like, burn everything, I'm gonna kill everyone. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, you're just a Saturday morning cartoon. And then, when he got stabbed at the end, I was kind of like, this might be really poignant, because they were just kind of, it's like, that's his cousin. Like, I can't think of any other MCU character apart from Loki that's related to the hero. And with Loki, it's like, well, he's never gonna die off because he's a beloved character. But with him, it was like, oh, he's gonna die. How are they gonna treat this? And he was like, oh, he said he wanted to see the sunset, so they'll obviously show him the sunset. I was like, are they gonna have him like heal him, and then he'll be like his sidekick? Because that could be really neat.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, where it was like maybe he was gonna be this kind of like have a redemption story, and maybe they'd like it wouldn't be an impactful death, but he could be killed off in Infinity War, like whatever.
Yeah. But at least it would be a redemption before death.
Yeah.
And you could have him like, oh, he sees white people and immediately wants to kill them because he's a big fucking racist.
Yeah.
And Black Panther's like, no, that is not the way. but no, he's just like, I want to die like a slave. Why do you want to die like a slave? That's a bad death.
Yeah.
But then he just dies. And it's like, oh, okay. If he hadn't ranted about the fact that black people are slaves and just ruined that entire moment, it would have been neat. But nope. Fucking ruins it. But then the very end of the film, the last scene, he goes to the building somehow. I guess he asked his ghost Black Panther dad.
I can't think of how he knew. But
he did.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I'm going to reveal to the world I'm the Black Panther. And then a spaceship comes down, and these kids in the basketball court are just like, hey, look, a spaceship. We could sell on eBay. And it's like, that seems a bit racist. That's probably what black kids would do. We can steal it.
The good thing about that scene was because they just used stock. I don't know. Did they shoot on location, or did they just use
shot on location?
I guess.
Because that scene was at the beginning of the film as well.
Yeah,
they probably shot there for one day.
Yeah, but it's just like, there's just people walking by on the street, even though there's a big spaceship.
They're just like, hey, look, a spaceship. And they go up to it, and it's like, hey, oh my god, a spaceship. Remember that time spaceships destroyed New York?
Yeah. It's
like, why are you interested in it? I'd be scared.
Oh, they're back. Oh, no, not again. Dolores, get the shotgun.
But then, like, all the kids go over to the spaceship, and then one kid's like, hey, is this your ship? And he just kind of smiles to Black Panther.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's your name? And it goes like, "Da-na-na-na-na-na." I'm like, oh my god, no, they're just going to cut. And then it cuts. And it's like, oh my god.
Then we get the
I'm pretty sure that's how they cut like the Batman movies and like the Spider-Man movies just before they say his name. And they did that with like Captain America Avengers Age of Ultron at the end where he's like, Avengers, he's about to say assemble, but then they cut.
Yeah, they did. Was it Amazing Spider-Man that they did the cut with it?
Maybe.
Because I know that in the other Spider-Man movies he has his monologue about who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then it'll always cut.
Who are you? Cut.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Well, I guess who he is doesn't matter.
No, but because then the mid-credit scene is him announcing to the UN that he's going to help the world because Wakanda's the best country in the world.
Now, what's your third world country going to bring to the UN? Zoom in on his face, the build-up of the music.
Cut. The exact same as the ending. It felt completely pointless.
Why doesn't he answer people's questions?
That should have been the ending. Because if people left after that, they'd be like, did Martin Freeman live? Because he's just in the background of that shot. That's the only time you see him after he maybe could have died. I don't fucking... And then the after-credit scene was... Because I totally forgot that Bucky goes to Wakanda at the end of Civil War.
Yeah, he's put in a pod.
Yeah.
But
then at the beginning of the after-credit scene, I feel like is just a scene from Avengers Infinity War. Yeah. Because it's just like, I don't know, I was probably in there at some point, and then they just...
he's speaking to T'Challa's sister.
Yeah, to sister. And they call him the White Wolf, because of course they're racist.
Well, maybe not having an arm would be more of a thing to talk about.
Hey, it's the one-armed man. Maybe you call him Claw. Maybe Ulysses Claw.
Call him the three-legged wolf or something. Like.
Yeah, it's a cooler name. But no, they call him the White Wolf, and then they're like, how are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to be in Infinity War, and then it stops.
Also, Sebastian Stan does not look good in that.
No, he looks very sad and unhealthy.
Yeah, he looks like chubby, and his beard looks gross.
Yeah.
And it's
well, he's been. I mean, he did freeze.
That's true. They literally froze him. But it's just like there's something about how just out of shape he looks. Yeah. Where it's like he's not going to be good enough to fight aliens.
They'll just give him a CGI character. He'll just be entirely CGI in the next film. Who cares? They could do that. Could you not see the convincing CGI characters at the end of this, where everyone was flying in the air? Yeah. Well, that was another thing. I didn't know the guy from Get Out. I don't fucking know. Was he brothers with T'Challa? Because he called him brother at some point. I wasn't sure if that was just an African thing or if they were brothers. No. I guess they're just friends. But they mentioned it early in the beginning that he was married to the warrior woman.
Yeah, they're lovers.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about that until the end when they had a face-off. And then he's like, would you kill me? And she's like, I would protect my country. And I was like, oh yeah, are they lovers? Or they've shown no chemistry or anything together?
There was literally one scene where she was like, Your Highness, my love.
Oh yeah, that was literally it.
Yeah.
So then there's like the standoff, and it's like, if they developed that a bit, that could be like, husband versus wife, lovers fighting. But then another fucking Star Wars prequel moment, they just give up. He just kneels down and everybody else gives up as well, like Phantom Menace style.
There's a slow motion pan of like all the fighting in the background and him looking in shock, and then all of a sudden he puts down his weapon and everybody
stop. Yeah, like, Phantom Menace style.
Like they're literally swinging swords at each other, but then they're not in the next shot.
There's people that would be like yards away that probably wouldn't see it and would be still killing each other. One guy should have shouted like, hey, we're stopping now, we're giving up, because that guy's a cuck. He's giving in to his wife, he's giving her the pants in the relationship. Hey, remember that time I almost killed you? I still could.
I'm
gonna fuck you in the ass with my strap on tonight. Okay, dear.
Someone like spears at like jets and shit. It was like,
if they're all like laser spears or something.
If they're all made of vibranium, if those flying machines are vibranium and those spears are vibranium,
why are they breaking each other? Why was the lasers breaking the vibranium ships? Captain America's shield's like indestructible. What the fuck?
Yeah, like vibranium is like glass in this movie.
It is, except for in the Black Panther suit where it's completely indestructible.
And they have those capes.
Oh yeah,
men shields. And they just throw up the capes.
Yeah, I kind of like some of the robes. Like, the costume design in this is just a complete and utter fucking mess. Yeah. Some of them look kind of Western and cool and, like, alien. kind of like more kind of regal, royal.
Yeah.
And then some of them just look like they just went into Africa, stole some people, and put them in the film. Like the guys with the big discs in their mouth, and there's people with these weird hairstyles, and the whole thing is just visually. It felt like it was visually assaulting my eyes.
Yeah.
It hurt. It hurt to look at.
Yeah, it's just jarring.
Yeah, it's jarring. The last thing that I don't think we've talked about is the great relationship between him and the girl.
Oh yeah.
They kissed.
He had a love interest.
She was his ex.
They couldn't be together because she's a spy. She works in Korea. And then she's like, I can't be with you because I've got to be a spy. The movie's over. I can be with you because I'm not going to be a spy. The end. They kissed.
Well, that means that they had chemistry. That
true.
means that they loved each other.
That's true.
I really felt that relationship. Especially when she was fighting at the end. I felt like, she's fighting for him because she loves him.
She puts on her old outfit from when she was one of the bald ladies.
That's true. She takes out a disc thing from Tron.
Yeah,
and fights people with it.
Yeah, she has those.
Is this worse than Thor: Dark World? Because to me, if you were to sit me down and say you have to either watch Black Panther or Thor: Dark World again,
I'd rather watch Thor: Dark World again.
Yeah, like at least I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, there was that good Captain America scene. There was
Kat Dennings has large breasts.
That's also true. There was a bit where he hung his hammer on the coat rack.
Yeah. The Doctor is.
There was some okay action with him like jumping through portals. Yeah. It was kind of dumb, but I don't know. It was more understandable than action. Black Panther.
It was a more interesting thing than a lot of movies do.
Loki was an interesting villain, and he wasn't killed off like Claw. So
he wasn't an interesting villain, but he was also not killed off. Those are both things that happen.
Yeah, I would rather watch Thor: Dark World again. I never ever want to see this again. It was terrible, all of it.
If you're planning a marathon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films,
skip this one.
You literally don't need to watch this one.
Create nothing. Well, I mean,
there wasn't even an Infinity Stone or anything.
That's true. I think there's still like 2 Infinity Stones we haven't seen left.
Yeah, but we already know that Thanos has one of them, and I guess in Infinity War he's gonna get. They're gonna have. He's gonna
get Vision's one.
Yeah, and the last one will probably be in that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
whatever. I don't care. Like even people that don't like the last couple Marvel movies, like Max, our favorite fan of the show, wrote us that great script. He's like, I'm looking forward to Infinity War. Like, why? It's like all the Avengers and all the characters are there. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a massive clusterfuck. Yeah. He's like, yeah, even if the movie's stupid and terrible, it'll at least be entertaining because it's all the different characters. And it's like, maybe
Civil War argument invalidated.
That's true. But yeah, Civil War is okay. It's got some good scenes in it. It's got some. It's just a mess in terms of, like, it's with Avengers. It's fine because it's about the Avengers. But that was called the Captain America film. But there wasn't enough Captain America stuff in it. But the Captain America stuff there was in it with Bucky was interesting. I think Infinity War. I don't know what to think of it. I think it might be better than Age of Ultron. But it'll probably be an awful mess. I think it might be like Justice League. I don't think Thanos is going to be a good villain. Justice League is enjoyably bad. It's not good.
It's good. Okay. I love Justice League. I'm sorry. I'm just a DC fanboy. That's true. I guess.
And a racist because you don't like Black Panther.
That's true. Hey, some might say that all DC fanboys are racist since clearly there was a boycott by DC fanboys. DC fanboys, they're the ones who wanted to boycott this movie. Not white supremacists or racists or anyone who doesn't like black people.
Yeah.
It's DC fanboys and their problem with Marvel movies.
Yeah.
All you fucking Marvel shills who can't fucking tell your fucking movies apart except because of which character is on the poster.
What's this? The first Iron Man? Oh wait, is it Ant-Man? Oh wait, is it Doctor Strange? Oh wait, is it Black Panther? I can't tell because they're all the fucking same movie. Right, first off, I want to give a shout out to Max, who wrote us that script. He has started his own podcast now. It's almost worse than ours.
Can't be one.
Just technically. I mean, in terms of what they talked about, I enjoyed it. He mentioned me like 5 times in that podcast, so I want to consider that like a sister podcast to this one. If you're looking for a podcast with terrible audio quality and people you can't understand, probably a good show. He recorded it on his phone that was on top of a tissue box, and all you can hear is a fan heater. It's called the Mini Heater Show. That's the actual name. I don't know why. It's because they were recording with a mini heater on and they couldn't think of anything else, I guess.
I might ask Max for his PayPal so I can actually buy him a microphone.
No, he records with a Rock Band microphone. It's just decent quality. I've talked to him on Discord, it sounds alright.
All this ghetto fucking setup he's got.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we record with a fucking microphone in a van.
Oh yeah.
We're not much better.
Oh yeah, but I've got like a mixer and some actual microphones.
That's true. At home, which we're not allowed to record in for some reason. I guess.
Well, soon enough. And once I get some shit sorted out so that I've got a decent quiet space, like right.
That'd be good. Okay, so the last thing I want to do, we have a subscriber called Simpsons King Kong Reviews, and he's got his own channel, and he's commented on our videos a couple times, and because he gave us a shout out, I thought we'd give him a shout out, because also, I'd watch his videos, and they're some of the funniest things I've ever fucking seen, and he uploaded this recently, and it's fucking hilarious. So his video is called, I Just Paid for Sex, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Funk Dog exclusive.
We made something out of nothing. I'ma do this for the struggle,
The song plays for 30 seconds.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm a fireball for life. Drunk as fuck. You know I like
We're in
to
Naruto
my
cap?
fucking emotions.
Sweet.
I just paid for fucking sex, and it was so fucking amazing. She was mixed with black and white, light skin, fat ass, looked like a Reuben diamond. And I talk about a lot of things YouTubers wouldn't talk about. That's why I love my show, and I know that my true fans love my show because I am fucking uncensored. So I'm going to speak whatever I want to say until they fucking kick me out of YouTube. Then I go to blackjunction.tv because they're competing with YouTube. So if they want to fucking kick me out, it's whatever.
Maybe it's just for black people.
That's why I thought when I heard black, I was not
sex was fucking amazing. And usually I wouldn't talk about like hookers on my fucking YouTube channel because, like I said, they're hookers. But Jesus,
why are you doing it then?
She had a fucking smile like the fucking sun, thick as fuck. Oh my goodness! If y'all just saw what she had on, she had like some fucking leggings on, a nice little shirt. She was ready. She was ready
really
to go.
close.
$40. That ain't fucking shit. That
$48.
That's
so fucking cheap.
Like, whatever. And
probably it's cool video.
I just feel good, man. And shout out to my nigga Patrick. Even though I'm about to do a diss video on him, shout out to my nigga Patrick for hooking me up with the hooker. I will do a diss video on Patrick because he cheated on Madden. You cheated on fucking Madden.
Madden, the football game.
Man, they don't know.
Is Patrick filming him right now?
I guess so.
He's got very steady hands. I don't believe he's got a tripod.
Sorry, that was him. Like and subscribe. Get some pussy. Get some fucking liquor and turn up tonight, man. Turn up, not just for me, but turn up for yourself. You know, I'm out.
What's the next 24 minutes of the video then? Is it just the rest of that song? Wait, is it just black screen? So he just made a 3-minute video about how he fucked a hooker, and 45 seconds of that video is just a song and a bad image.
Good video.
So you can see why this is one of my favorite YouTube channels. You subscribe to us.
more videos like that I'd like to
Yeah, more power to you. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was great. Tell more stories about how you fucked hookers.
Hopefully you don't unsubscribe after Black Panther talk.
Yeah, well, we've said several times that we're not racist. I mean, I love that guy. He's amazing. Yeah. The first video I watched of him was him burning a Ray action figure on his fucking stove. He also made a video where he talked about how he wished he never had sex because when he lost his virginity, he couldn't stop thinking about sex. So now he's addicted to it. He's great. I recommend his channel. It's great. I recommend his channel to everybody out there listening. Yeah, funny guy. More videos, please. Also, if you're listening to Simpson King Kong reviews, what's your opinion on Black Panther? Do you like it? I mean, you're impolitically correct, so I mean, you might think it's shit. Also, are you still listening? We've been rambling for an hour and a half. If you made it this far, the code word for the comments is...
Chili Willy.
Chili Willy. So if you made it this far, the comment is comment Chili Willy in the comments, or email us at wastingtimepost@gmail.com. This video will probably get removed from YouTube, and our podcast will probably get banned from iTunes, so farewell everybody, it's been fun.
Whatever you do, don't watch the trailer for that new Woody Woodpecker movie, it looks bad.
That Woody Woodpecker movie looks bad. Well, I haven't seen it, but you described it to me.
It looks bad.
Trailer reaction for Woody Woodpecker, and also Incredibles 2, which looks the exact same as the first movie.
Progress!
This is the year of more bad movies, but maybe not as bad as last year, hopefully not.
Hey, when you wait 13 years for a sequel to a movie, aren't you gonna be happy when it's the same movie? And you waited for nothing?
They should just re-release the first one and call it Incredibles 2.
You waited for The Incredibles 2. You waited for nothing.
Oh, whatever. Farewell, everybody. Comment in the comments. Tell us what you thought of the movie, and go fuck yourself. Flag the video for racism, etc. Buy our t-shirts.